Hey everybody, Laughing Boy again. This is the day after Salute now, so I figured why not crack into the honking great big box of HellBoy that I picked up at Salute for silly money, quite frankly. £85 for the Kickstarter edition with over 100 miniatures in it, so that's like less than £1 a miniature, and I'm sure just a whole ton of other things. So let's open it up and I'll show you what I can. Okay. I've got another camera here as well, so I can do some close cam stuff. But this is just, I'm sure there's going to be quite a lot of it, so I should move some things out of the way. And I shall try and break the seal on it. Now, I wasn't involved in the Kickstarter at the time. There was an awful lot of Kickstarters going on, there still is. And I just kind of figured this is one I wouldn't jump in on because I already had a bunch of things I was backing. But I did think when I saw lots of people talking about it and getting it and playing the game, that it was looking pretty cool. So therefore I said to myself, well, if I happen to see even the standard edition or this Absolute, I might jump in. And you know, instead of it being £150 or something like I think some people are doing it for 140, I managed to pick it up for 85, and that seemed like a no-brainer thing to do. So let's do it. And it's absolutely huge. I was going to compare it to some other boxes, but I mean, I don't know if you can just tell how deep this box is. And it genuinely weighs a lot. Okay. So straight off the top, I should try and jump to this camera here to try and show you some of this stuff. Let's tuck this down. There we go. So straight off the top, we've got some cards. Looks really cool. And we've got a tutorial. Read this first. That's always a good idea. We've got some advertising for some other games, Dungeon Saga, obviously, and Star Saga, both brilliant games from Mantic. That's why you know you're in good hands with this. You know, I already own The Walking Dead All Out War, which is another Mantic game, which I actually did do on Kickstarter, and that was fantastic. So I'm not too worried that this isn't going to be as cool. Anyway, let's jump back. I'm going to put this camera down and we can look more through the box. When there's stuff to show you up close, I'll jump to this camera. So we'll put that down there for now. Okay. So we've got some cool postcard art. You know, that's one for someone to colour in. I'll just keep it. This is probably, by the way, how I'm going to paint my my Kickstarter edition. I don't think I've got the time to paint every single miniature in there if there really is 100 miniatures in there. So I'm going to go very stylized, mostly black with some white zenith highlighting. I may paint, obviously, help the four main characters in there. Nice good rulebook. I must remember to show things this way around on the camera so you guys can see it rather than seeing the upside down version. So yeah, I might try to achieve this kind of look when I paint my HellBoy. So potentially it's, rather than being black and white zenith, it will be a black with a red zenith for him. And use some washes and stuff. So there you go, that's the rulebook. Okay, we've got some cards. So these are your character cards. So you've got Abe Sabian there, obviously your HellBoy. Quite a lot. Now obviously because this is the Kickstarter edition, it's going to have extra characters in there, like, you know, HellBoy actually as a small boy. Characters that probably aren't included in the actual, some of these I don't even know who they are. But there you go, there's horned HellBoy, so another rendition of HellBoy with his horns, looking pretty awesome. Yep, so a whole bunch of character cards there. Then we've got what's the top layer. I'm going to have to move this out of the way a little bit. Bring the top layer down. I will jump to the other camera just for a second so you can see the contents of the box a bit better. So we've got, I'll flip this around, we've got sort of the coloured standees. These are useful. Oh, my camera seems to be freezing a little bit, sorry about that. These are good for, if you don't paint your miniatures, then you can just stand the miniature in one of these colours so you can actually identify which player is which. This looks like encounter cards, item cards, etc. I seem to be jumping quite a bit on this camera. I may change in a second. I'm pretty sure what happens is when you open a door or find a room, depending on what's going on, this will tell you what's in that room. So for instance, this room's got scenery, 2 pieces of scenery, a clue, a frog swarm and a minion type bee, which I'm sure is described elsewhere. Looks like we have some more encounter cards here and some other cards. And these will be great. You know, you can sleeve those. I recommend you do. Some little counter tokens. More tokens. Little wooden blocks. Actually, they're plastic, not wooden. Little counters. We've got, this is the back of the case file deck. To avoid spoilers, turn it over, only look at the top front. Okay, so this is probably more towards sort of the campaign or something. BRD archives. So yeah, this deck of cards gives players all they need to create a randomly generated case file. Ah, there we go, that's cool. So you can obviously do the ones in the book, and then you'll have other ones. And these are actual cases. Perils of the Job, Hunting Party, Missing Persons. Cool, so these are actual cases you can go on with your team. That's really cool. I like the idea of the case all coming encased in a packet. So you've got like, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to solve the case, the perils of the job. That's really cool. We've then got some Deck of Doom. That sounds good. Deck of Doom. We've then got these just like consequence cards. I could try and open them up, but I won't do. Because what we're going to do is we're going to do a let's play of this anyway. So you'll see all these cards come into action. But I just wanted to show you what came in the box really. These are going to be sort of like consequence cards, aren't they? Sort of like, you know, how the threat moves up. And there's another Deck of Doom there. So that's quite a good variety. So yeah, that's the sort of top tray. Lots of interesting cards. Right, we'll just flip back again so I can show you what's in the box. Oh, let my other camera falling over. So in here we have some spaces. If you watch my other unboxing video where I did core space, it had something similar to this, but they were cardboard. And someone left a comment on the other video that you actually made a crisscross system with that cardboard, and then it made a divider in the bottom of your box for you to pop all your pieces in. So never throw this stuff away, because you never know if it's actually going to be used. I think this is just spacer material for the packaging, but certainly with the core space box, they were meant to be there. So this looks like all your floor tiles. I'll lay some of these out so you can see them. So if I move that over there, you've got all punches out, so it's just what you'd expect, you know, floor tiles to punch out, and then you can make all of your different layouts. I'll grab the close cam in a second, you guys can see a bit more what's on there. This looks more like a sort of game management board. Let's have a look, Joan. If I switch over to this camera. So you've got character sort of punch outs there, you've got floor tiles. I don't know, are they double sided? I'm going to assume so. Yes, they are. There we go, they're double sided. Lots of different combinations. Yeah, you've got more tokens. You've got, this is obviously going to be your sort of board where you track the game. There's your case file, there's your Doom tracker, I'm guessing, and clues and all the rest of it. As we get your Doom deck goes, you see the picture of, sort of lines up. Yeah, so that's those bits. Just flip back again. Cool, so a whole bunch of card there. So I'll move that over there. So already starting to take up the desk. Oh, camera went out of focus. Hello. Come back to me, camera. Okay, and then we have miniatures. Lots and lots of miniatures. That's how many trays of miniatures are we talking? There's one tray. there's 2 trays with a whole bunch of dice. There is there's 3 trays. Doesn't stop there. There's 4 trays. And then there's 5 trays. Wow. Okay. How do we do this? Let's go through. Let's leave these one. This one looks like some good gribbly stuff. So let's leave that one to the end, and let's grab the other camera, and I can show you what's in here. So we'll do this one first. This looks like your monsters. Now, obviously, are these stuck down? It's a little bit annoying, but 1 second. I have to undo some sellotape on here so I can lift off these plastic sheets. There we go. So let me just flip to the other one. And here we go. So my guess is this is an expansion, because I didn't see this in the core box, I don't think. So this is like werewolves. Certainly these are werewolves. It's a shame this camera's starting to lag up a little bit. I don't know why that is. But you get the gist. That is certainly a cool looking werewolf. You got some bats. They're looking very cool. I'm guessing these are, if that was bats, are these vampires? They could be vampires. I mean, they're sort of, they might be sort of cultists or something. They look like they're worshipping something with their hands up like that. And answers on a post. These are harpies. They kind of look like a. Now, answers on a postcard. It looks like a harpy, right? Good quality, you know, look like very nice sculpts on the miniatures. I've got no complaints there. I'm not seeing massive. I'm just sort of taking a look myself at the moment. I'm not seeing anything hugely. I mean, they're good board game pieces, right? There's nothing wrong with those whatsoever. Right, and sort of big raven birds here. I mean, these are big birds. If that's the size of the bird compared to a character, these are some big old birds. Yeah, so that's that one. I'll put it down for a sec while I get another one out. Let's flip back to this, just what I did there. So that was creatures. Let's do this one. This one looks like soldiers. Things of that kind rather than monsters. Yeah, we'll just flip back again. Yeah, so definitely more your classic soldier types, guys with knives, guys with machine guns, rifles. So these are your, you know, your bad guy Nazis. I don't know why there's a turkey, but hey, in the corner there's a turkey. Now, I don't know enough about the HellBoy lore to know why there's a turkey. Someone please tell me why there is a giant. Is this going to be like the most deadliest creature in the game? If you get the turkey, it's over. And what's nice is also some little, these must have been stretch goals. There's also some busts of some of the characters. They're not huge, you know, you can tell by the size of my hand. These aren't huge busts, but that's a nice little extra for you to be able to paint up. There we go. Right, we'll do the next one. As you can already tell, we're on to a lot of miniatures. Hence my reasoning for saying it's unlikely I'm going to paint this beyond sort of some sort of stylized method. Let me just crack this one open. Now this one's a mixture of miniatures and some tokens by the looks of it. Certainly a whole load of dice. And some, yeah, it looks like furniture and bits and pieces in there. Nicely, I have the Mantic terrain chests, so I wonder if any of that would work in here. If there's tokens for you know, a cupboard or a chair, I can actually use a real piece of plastic furniture. So I'll give you a quick overview. Whole load of dice, some custom, some standard 6-sided dice. These are quite cool, little fire tokens. So obviously you can set fire to rooms or set fire to something, because then there's a token to represent that it's on fire. Obviously I know one of the characters is very fire, you know, she creates all sorts of burny problems. And these must be your frogs, your frogmen. Yeah, that's what these guys are. So these are kind of your standard bad guys. And there's some with what looks like they've grabbed a, you know, a sort of fishing hook there. Yeah, all very standard looking, very cool. Other little tokens, these must be the frog swarms that we saw on the cards, talking about frog swarms being around. Yeah, so that's them. Okay, next one. Take you back for a second. Hope this all goes back in the boxes easy. Right. So this one looks to be more your heroes and your sort of big boss guys. Well, your sort of heroes and villains, because I think the last one is where the bosses are. Oh, sorry about that noise. Right, let's have a look. So yeah, I'll sort of start at the top and go around. Definitely some HellBoys in there and some Rasputin. A whole bunch of other people. And some more busts, which is really cool. And I'm especially liking this one here, which I shall get out now and show you. So it's sort of the HellBoy bust. So there's the HellBoy bust there, which instantly jumps out at me. It's like, yeah, that's going to get a nice paint job. It's a bit chunky. It's definitely chunky, I mean, compared to the other ones. Although HellBoy obviously is a bigger guy anyway, but it feels quite nice in the hand. It's quite chunky. But you've got HellBoy, you've got Sabian, you've got, I can't remember all of their names, but you've got the female character, who's the one who does the flames and the fire, and then the guy who I think is like Steam, and he like sort of runs in a robot suit. There's some other quite funny ones. I'll pull some out that sort of grab my attention. There's an ape with a handgun, because why not? Ape with a handgun. There is Kid HellBoy. There he is. Small child HellBoy, causing problems. You've got some sort of Medusa looking characters here. Snake ladies. We've got this kind of big old demon guy. He's got tiny wings. Oh, he dropped him. Yeah. You've got guy with a rocket pack, sort of blasting off. That's quite cool. I like the blast, sort of, you know, the smoke all billowing around him as he takes off with his rocket pack. So many things. There's full on demon HellBoy, sort of like with his horns, about to swing his big right hand to knock someone out. There's the classic HellBoy, which is actually if you went to Salute and popped past the Mantic stand, they were doing a sort of, you know, lucky dip where you might sort of pull out a piece of terrain or one of these characters from the board, but there were also HellBoys in there. So some people walked home with their own HellBoy that day. My son's friend actually got one. So there we go. He looks pretty cool. Yeah, and there's the female cat. There's the flame. There's the female cat with all sort of fire coming off her arm. Which looks very cool. Yeah, and that's it. So that's the main one, I think, with this sort of, you know, your heroes and your villains in. There's Rasputin there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I know I've said cool a lot in this video. That's cool. That's my word. Right, I'll put the lid back on. Right, okay, we'll move on to the last thing, really, that's in the box, which is these kind of big guys. Oh. So there's no point showing that. I might as well jump straight to the camera and we will take a look at each of these individually. So the first guy is this giant ape fella with all this kind of mechanical stuff, and he's clearly had his hands replaced or even just built over with these kind of big metal hands. Very similar to HellBoy in a way. Maybe they're trying to replicate his big right hand but twice over. Let me grab a character and we can sort of do a size comparison. Let's grab the man himself. Let's grab HellBoy. Let's tilt this camera up a little bit. Let's go up this way. Oh, too much. So we have HellBoy and we have the ape. There we go. So yeah, hello. He's looking pretty big, right? So that's him. He's looking cool. Next guy is going to be this kind of looks like a crocodile. I was going to say serpent first of all, but it's not. It's got legs, so it's definitely a crocodile. Again, and he's kind of wrapped around this sort of stone pillar. Oh, actually not. It's a statue with a guy holding a sword. You can see the sword there, and there's a pillar there. Yep. So that's that. My son James is about to join me, so we'll welcome him in. So we're now going to show you a video of... Hey James, I'm just doing a quick video on the unboxing of HellBoy. This is HellBoy, and this is a sort of tentacled creature. You can come in there if you want. Tentacled creature. No idea, you can't really see much of what's going on there, but again, that's the size of him compared to HellBoy. What do you think, James? So I've just been through all of the boxes, and this is just the big monsters at the end. So I'm doing a size comparison to HellBoy. This is a very Cthulhu looking guy. Get a bit more on HellBoy's size, but still a big guy, and looks very, very cool indeed, with his sort of tongue swishing out and his big teeth. We've then got well, this is a weighty miniature. This is a giant grub. What would you call that? Giant grub?
Yeah, that's a grub.
Giant grub creature bursting out of the ground, and again, HellBoy is quite mismatched compared to size to this guy. What's that in there? And then there's one thing hidden underneath all these miniatures, so I don't know what this is. I'm going to be careful to get it out because it's kind of stuck. So bear with me a second.
Let me see this guy.
There we go. So I don't know what this is. This is, maybe someone will know who knows the sort of HellBoy world a lot better than I do. This looks like a character. It looks like it might be the elf kind of character from the second movie, the old second movie. But it's almost like in a wooden teacup, so it's almost very small. It's like in a goblet. So yeah, I have no idea what that is.
That's very cool.
It is cool, but I have no idea what it is. Like I say, I need to go and look at the stretch goals on the Kickstarter to know what all these things are called. Or look in the book. Hopefully there's rules for these guys. There's cards for them somewhere. But compared to HellBoy, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
HellBoy's gun's about the size of his head. So yeah. So there we go. I'll flip back to me. This is James, by the way. Say hello, James.
Hello.
So you just saw everything that was in the Kickstarter edition of HellBoy. Like I say, my plan is to do a very stylized paint job on these guys. So black with a white zenith highlight, maybe for HellBoy and some of the characters I might paint them up a bit. I might try and achieve something akin to what's on the front of that comic. If I show that up, oh, wrong camera. If I show that there, that's probably what I'm going to try and achieve. I think that's not that hard to achieve. Worst case is it'll look more like that art. There we go. And then me and James will probably do a let's play in maybe a few days' time.
Yeah.
As it's Easter holidays,
Cool.
and we've got lots of board game time.
I just finished my review. Oh, I just finished uploading my review of all my Salute stuff.
Cool. Yeah, we came home with lots of swag from Salute, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I'll do some more unboxing of the other things I've got. So for the Dark Souls game, I'll show you the Deep Cut Studios map that I got and a few other things. But that's it for this video. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of thing. I also do live streaming on Twitch. I'll leave a link below for you to do that if you want to come and follow me there. Otherwise, I shall see you on the next video when yeah, we start maybe playing some of these games. I've also got a Core Space Let's Play coming up. If you go back into my videos, you'll see we did an unboxing of Core Space. Actually, James, you played a couple of games with that, and it was pretty awesome, right?
Yeah, it's really awesome.
So James is going to teach me how to play Core Space, so we'll pop that video up there as well. Our camera keeps going out of focus. Right, bye everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I didn't press the right button.